What's up, guys? This is Bullfire the Fell-Handed bringing you the Art of the Panzer 5-4 Ram Panzer Part 6. The greens have spawned on the southwest side of the board. The reds have spawned on the northeast side of the board. In a moment here, you'll look at matchmaking, and you will notice we are not top tier. Typically, what you want to do across the board, if you're not top tier, you need to post up somewhere, you need to get shots, you need to do what you can. Because, you know, granted in this tank typically can hold its own a little bit better than others. The idea here that I have behind this is go up here, get some shots in, get some damage on early on in the game, and then later on move down and begin to engage the enemies directly 1v1. That's what I like to do. As you can see right now, I'm loading APCR. It's always a good move when you're in a low tier lobby. Granted, the gun on this tank is excellent, you know, but I wanted that little bit of boost, that little bit of edge. So right now we're just we're doing what everybody does up here. We're pulling up, we're waiting till we're not 6 cents anymore, we're pulling up and we're going to take a shot. And that's exactly what you should be doing when you're low tier. And, you know, yeah, could I be out there doing more? You know, could I be at D4, the farm area, getting some side shots on some people as they come up? Yeah, sure. But I choose to be up here because I am specifically doing this to show you what you can do if you were in this particular situation. Because as I play the variety of tanks that I have, you know, I notice you're not always top dog anymore. That's one of the reasons that I strictly play 10s, is because you end up essentially beating matchmaking. I'm going to do a whole series on how to beat matchmaking, but since I'm focused on it, I just kind of wanted to mention this particular point. Now, granted, you know, we're not super high. I think it's tier 6. I don't know, maybe it's tier 7. At any rate, what we're doing here, we're just being very cautious. We're not taking any undue risk. We're pulling up. We're going to take a few shots. We're going to back down. That's all we're going to do. We're going to keep this pace up until, you know, we are needed. Now, as you can see, we've got a guy coming down beneath us that is cause for issue, because once he gets up here, he can do some damage. And, you know, not only can he get shots on myself, he can get shots on a lot of other key players over here holding key defensive positions. So I take it upon myself to go around here and go ahead and see if I can't shut him down. Now, as far as health goes, we're doing okay. This tank has a large health reserve pool here. Now, as you can see, as I mentioned in the last video, when you ram, I immediately switch to hatchets to go through any especially tough turret armor, what have you. And this happens regardless of what tier tank I ram in this thing. It doesn't really matter. You want the extra penetration. You want to ensure penetration. So that's kind of the direction I would take if that is what happens to you. Now you see we have a round going in off the gate, and then I was going to ram him, but there's no need to ram, no need to risk our health, you know, because we would end up losing a little bit, not very much. Now, at this time, I need to tell you, I do have controlled impact on the tank. I do not have spall liner, but at the same time, the tank is heavier than everything up to Churchill to KV. Churchill and KV is the only two that really give me pause. Other than that, you know, you can safely ram everything on the board. I have some websites where I can show you tank weights if you are so inclined. Now, the tank is not accurate enough to do super long shots. You just kind of have to hope for the best if you're taking extreme shots. You know, you don't really want to make it a habit per se. It's okay to do it. Just don't go crazy with it, because it's like anything else. It's gonna end up in tears if you're not getting your way, and most likely you won't, because the accuracy's just not there. The dispersion's just not there. You know, you may pull it off, you know, here and there, but for the most part, the accuracy is going to troll you. Now, granted, there's different levels of being trolled, of course. We're not talking KV2. This tank does have a .35 accuracy, and which is on par with a lot of the high-tier mediums, but you will notice your shots are a little bit wilder than they are, say, coming out of your mediums. This is typically because this tank relies on a totally different dispersion factor. Sure, it says .35. It's the hidden stats which we're trying to look at here. Now, we're in the trench here. We're in an okay position. We've got some decent cover. We're trying to go ahead and continue fire on the remaining reds. It looks like it's dropped into a cap war, and I go ahead and load a hatchet just to see if I can't squeeze a few more pins out of here before I die. I'm not in a good position to angle my armor. All I can do is pull up essentially and pop around. In these cases, it's just better to really wait versus risking my tank. Granted, I am popping up and I'm taking some shots here. I'm not being super successful. I'm bouncing and I'm missing, but sometimes that's what you have to do. It's all about volume in this case, and in that case we are hitting on all 12 cylinders. Guys, thank you for watching the Art of the Panzer 5.4 Ram Panzer Part 6. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share.